Hello everyone, this is Zell Spectral. Welcome back to the Land of Empires. And today I want to cover kind of a retrospective view of the Christmas Carnival. It's been about a little over a week since we've had this event, and this is actually the second time we had this kind of event format. So this event is kind of where you throw snowballs at your enemy, you collect coins, and you upgrade four different buildings. If you click on the building details, you will see the different level of rewards that you can get from level 1 to level 100. Now, I kind of want to spend just a few minutes talking about the history of this event and kind of what's changed between the last version and the current version we have now. So, the first time we got this event was actually last Christmas. And when we first got the event, all buildings were capped at level 50. What happens was that people hit level 50 about 3 to 4 hours after the event began. And after 2 days, we quickly found out that it was impossible to catch up to those people who were maxed within the first few hours. So what did the developers do? They raised the cap from 50 to 100. Now, if you go to the building details, you can see that the cost of the event becomes, well, actually, you cannot see the cost here, but the cost slowly increases until your building hits level 50. After the building hits level 50, the cost is capped at, I believe, 35,000 coins per upgrade. So from level 51 to, well, actually from level 49 to level 100, I believe, it costs 35,000 coins to upgrade these buildings. Now, the strategy kind of is that you want to upgrade these three buildings first, because these three buildings will give you additional coins whenever you roll a coin bonus, which can range all the way from 2,000 to 5,000. I mean, from 1,000 to 5,000. Now, if you have the 150% boost, you will be gaining, I believe, 5,000 for the basic reward. No, 2,500 for the basic reward, 5,000 for the double, and finally 12,500 for all three coins. So you want to upgrade these three buildings first. And after you max these three buildings, after you upgrade these three buildings to level 50, you want to start upgrading the main building, which gives you the Christmas tickets as a bonus. And the Christmas tickets is used for this additional skin, which is competed within kind of server brackets. So these are competing between servers, I believe 93 all the way down to 87. This is what I could see based on this menu. So about 6 or 7 servers per bracket. And the main star of the show, of course, is the 10% buff skins. And these come in the form of the attack buff and the defense buff. Now, of course, most people are aiming for the defensive buff because if you are an old player and you are kind of the dominant whale on your servers, more likely than not, you will have every single attack buff skin, which means that your attack buff will be sitting at nearly 100% or well over 100% already. So I'm not the biggest whale out there, but if you were to look at my skin buffs, they are almost 100% already. So what really people are aiming for is a top 10 ranking. And unfortunately, I have to say the top 10 ranking is actually locked on the second day. If you are not maxed by the second day, the current event formats will completely restrict you from accessing or having any kind of chance at making it to the top 10 ranking. And this is because everyone's already maxed. You cannot earn points above what is already maxed. So it's already too late at this point, but I would just like to spend some time to kind of talk about what strategies people used at the beginning to maximize their point gain and avoid point losses, which could occur from maybe plundering or especially snowballs, which are very intense at the very beginning of the event. I know some people have been attacked over 60 times per hour. Some people have been attacked over 100 times per hour. And some people can completely, almost entirely avoid getting attacked by using specific strategies. And this is kind of what I want to spend a few minutes talking about in this video. What people are doing and what people are actually still hidden within the rankings themselves. So people like Crimson Knight and Maximus, well, especially Maximus, he is almost guaranteed to not be top 10. FRZ is just on copium right now. And Crimson Knight, I think he also has a good chance to not be in top 10. And although he's ranked number 8 right now, there are at least 2 hidden people. That includes YKBK and Joe Zero, who are likely well over 170 million points at this moment. They are just hidden within the bottom rankings. So how did it do it? At the very beginning of the event, the idea is so once the server resets, the idea is to get as much upgrades as possible within these 3 buildings before you reach the 1 hour mark. So once you reach the 1 hour mark, or just before that, you kind of want to have your points sitting at around just below 70,000. So about 60,000 to 80,000. And this is just to get yourself within kind of a comfortable range. How this event works is that you tend to attack enemies near your point value. So whenever you hit one of these snowballs, like the 3 snowballs, it says 1% proc, but it's actually like 10%. So once you hit one of these snowballs, you are matched kind of with a random enemy. And that random enemy will usually be close to your point value. And this is not generally true once people have these humongous number of points. But when everyone's sitting at like 50,000, 150,000, you will get matched at around your point value. So what people are doing is that they are collecting their first collection. And the reason why you want to do that is if you are sitting at 0 points. Of course, there is the risk of the developers detecting that you're absolutely not trying and therefore canceling out your points entirely. Of course, you want to avoid that possibility. But also, if you sit at 0 points, you will tend to get matched against kind of higher point enemies. You will get matched against people with 1 million points or 2 million points or a couple 100,000 points. But once you have some degree of points, like 3,000 or 30,000, you will get matched with people around your range. So after the first hour, they do 1 collection, and they do 1 collection only. And the best time to do that is right before the 2nd hour. And the reason is because if you click the collection too early, meaning that once the hour pass, you get too excited, you click collect, you become very close to the most active players at that time. And the most active players will be those who have points very similar to yours. And so you will get absolutely bombarded by snowballs for the next hour if you collect points right away. So you want to collect points like 15 seconds before the 2nd hour mark. This means that you will only be in close proximity to those most active players for 15 seconds. Once those 15 seconds pass, those players will start collecting their 2nd hour rewards. And your points, your ranking will drop from like the top 10 to like the top 100 very, very quickly. And that is very important because that means that you will have some amount of points that you can be matched against players relatively close to you who are not among the top ranking. And that is very, very important because otherwise they will get revenge on you and they will just hammer you down with over 100 hit per hour. And that is a huge waste of shovels. And you do not want to waste shovels if you are aiming for the top. If you look at the number of packs I bought, it is in total 1 $100 pack, 8 $50 pack, and a bunch of $20, $10, and $5 packs. So in total, it's about $650 or 65k dragon coins worth of shovel packs. If you were a huge rusher like young OG here, you would be spending about $1,000 or 100k dragon coins in packs. And that is really the cost of fighting against those super active opponents. And the second downside, of course, is that you always have to stay awake. Like during the first day, especially the first night, you literally cannot sleep if you are among the top rankings, because people will be salty, people will be hitting you, and you have to recover your shields like every few minutes or so. There's literally no rest for you, especially as more people become aware of what is going on. And so, yeah, you collect right before it hits the second hour mark, and then you stop collecting completely. You do not want to click this button. You do not want to even get close to this button for the next couple of days. So after that, what you do is you rush these buildings to max. You have to max them. You literally cannot wait for these passive collection. Like the passive collection, it really matters. These shovels regenerate at 16 minutes per shovel. So if you wait a day, you could generate like over 100 shovels, I think. Let's just pretend you generate 100 shovels. And that 100 shovels is worth quite a lot of money. It's worth like, what, $30, $20, $30? Let me see exactly how many shovels you regen, like 4 per hour. So yeah, about 100 shovels. And you get some decent bonuses from the Silver Voyage or whatever. It's in a different format now, but back in the first week, you get like a bunch of shovels every day depending on your placement. But yeah, do not wait for the regen. Max as soon as possible, because if you are not maxed, you might get completely locked out by people who are maxed at some point, whether they are showing themselves here in the rankings or they may be hidden in the background. So I know at least 2 people, maybe 3 people, they still have not collected. So the moment they collect, this will stack up forever, and it will count. The score will count at when the hour mark, at each hour mark. Basically, it tracks how many points you earn at that hour, and so you can collect at any point. So if you collect after 10 days, it will literally give you 10 days worth of points based on the point earnings at each hour. So it doesn't really matter when you collect. And this is very, very dangerous for people who are leaving their buildings unmaxed, because if someone is maxed and they actually pass you at some point, then there's a possibility that you can never catch up to them anymore. You can be 1,000 points away from them, and you can never catch up to them as long as they keep their buildings maxed. So that is the danger of not maxing your buildings. So if you are aiming for top 10 this event, max those buildings as soon as possible. And yeah, and after the first few days, everyone will be maxed, which means that it will no longer be wise to play this event. Now, pretty much nobody in the top rankings is playing this event. And so you are no longer in danger of being hit by snowballs. If you look at my mail, I think it is reported here. I haven't gotten hit in like, 20 hours. And it's just chilling. So after you collect right before the second hour, you will get hit somewhat because you'll be climbing. People will be doing their revenges on you. Just recover your shields as soon as possible, which shouldn't be a problem for the duration of your active play. And between level 50 buildings, from level 1 to level 50 buildings, it will cost you around 20,000 dragon coins. And after that, every 20 levels will cost you about 5,000 dragon coins. So it will cost you about 60,000 dragon coins in total to max everything. And this accounts for plundering other players. So you never really want to do this. Oops. Oh no, I don't want to click that. You never want to run this on auto, because some players tend to hoard a lot of points. Like players like Catzilla, I know FRZ. I think I stole either directly or indirectly. I think I stole around 300,000 from Catzilla. I stole probably 200,000, 250,000 from FRZ. I stole probably 250,000 more from Harris. And this really helps to supplement your coin gain. So yeah, it does cost about a minimum of 60,000 dragon coins to reach maximum level on all 4 buildings. The strategy, as I mentioned, is to collect right before the second hour and kind of just wait until then. The moment you collect, you start rushing every single building to max. And then after you get all the buildings to max, you will still get a bunch of residual attacks. So just fend off those residual attacks by either recovering shields or recovering your building levels. After about half a day, those attacks will start to simmer out. And once they simmer out, you're literally good for the rest of the event. You will really not get attacked anymore. And if you're fast enough, you are almost guaranteed a spot in the top 10. So yeah, I think this event overall is kind of unfair because you have to be early and be fast. If you are sleeping on the job, you wait half a day. In this case, people are really not aware of needing to max it so quickly. So in the case of Catzilla, for example, I know he was late by maybe half a day. He still became rank 1 overall in the event, at least as far as I know. But maybe in the next event, if they keep the same format, people might have wisened up and you may only have like a 6-hour window to max everything, or a 12-hour window. For this event, we had about a 24-hour window, but if you were not maxed by the first day, you were pretty much just gatekeeped out of top 10. So it will be very interesting to see whether the developers decide to raise the levels again, because right now the event costs what is it, 60,000 coins. If they raise these to 100 level 150 each, then this event will cost about a minimum of what is it, 100,000 coins. If they raise them to level 200, assuming that each level is still 35,000, then this event will cost about a minimum of $1,400 or 140k coins. Of course, I'm not considering the 25 discount or whatever other discount you might be getting, but I think it's going to be very tricky if the developers decide to raise these building levels even further. Of course, it will be more pay to win, but at the same time, the real pay to win people can actually get what they are shooting for, rather than just huffing copium for the remainder of this event since day 2, which is kind of what they're doing right now. Harris, I don't know if I feel sorry for them because they are huge whales after all, but as in terms of how this event is currently structured, they have literally zero chance of getting this 10% defense frame. So that is kind of my opinion on this event. Of course, I don't think it's very well designed because not only is it pay to win, there's a small strategic component to it, but there's also an unfair timing component of it. I like the strategic component to it, but I just think overall it's a very imbalanced event. It's not strictly pay to win since the average is like $600 if you don't mess up. But yeah, I don't think people have a lot of fun with this event. And overall, I just think that the event formats are kind of stale in the Land of Empires. This shop format has not changed literally since day 1. The rewards are still structured based on the day 1 reward formula. We still get the absolute minimum season 1 expected rewards. So I think this shop definitely needs some improvement, especially for free-to-plays. Like this event, it has like nothing for free-to-plays. Literally nothing. If we take a look at the lower level skins, these are only rewarded for 5 players. If you are out of the top 5 rankings, you are literally in the mud. These chests, of course, you have to pay $5 and $15 respectively. The 300,000 Lord EXP you get here is quite nice, but personally, I think it's not that worth it. The Santa skin you have to spend money on. That's like $200. And finally, I don't know how many tickets free-to-play have, but probably not much. Or even low spenders, they probably don't have much. Like even I cannot afford these March skins. I don't think they're very useful either. These are nice, I think. A lot of players do not own these, so I definitely recommend buying these if you have the coins. Not only do they give troop defense, but these I don't even know where they came from. So like I'm a very ancient players and I do not know where these skins came from. So definitely buy those frame skins. These I don't think they're very like I don't think they're worth much, but I think all of these available skins will be gone after this event. I think that was mentioned somewhere in the patch. But yeah, I really hope that they provide free to plays more opportunities, like more rewards, a better shop, more things to do, maybe a different event format. Like just change things up. Like this event, like this has almost no benefit except for the slightly increased troop training speed ups compared to what you typically expect from the Refined Sands of Time pack. Like if we compare the $100 pack from the Refined Sands of Time to that pack, you get the same amount of sands and half the number of speed ups. But in the other pack, you get you get troop speed ups compared to universal speed ups. So it's not even that much of a benefit. And like people nowadays, they're hungry for resources rather than actual troops. So yeah, hopefully we can get some better events in the future. This event format has been recycled from the event last winter, although I'm kind of glad that they did not further raise the building levels because that would be entirely pay to win. I still think that the event format has become kind of stale, not only for Christmas but for every other event that we've been getting. Give us more like the Easter egg format where you can break egg for various different type of rewards. Basically, just give free to play a little more bone and give spenders a little more reason to spend their money. I think that would be great for the longevity of the game and that would make everyone happy. So I hope everyone enjoyed my video and I will see everyone in my next video. Happy New Year's and stay safe everyone.